I got back from my trip to Walt Disney World last weekend, so of course I needed to make a video talking a little bit about it and showing everything that I got there. It truly was such a fun, exhausting time. We ended up doing 9 days. We did a split stay at Caribbean Beach and Grand Casino Tower at Coronado Springs. I absolutely loved Caribbean Beach and I would 100% stay there again in a heartbeat. I love the resort as a whole, but also having the Skyliner right there was the absolute coolest and best thing. And while I really liked the Grand Casino Tower at Coronado Springs, it definitely feels like you're getting a deluxe at a moderate price, and the Toledo tapas and the Dahlia bar at the top are super cool. I didn't overall like the vibes of Coronado as much, mainly because of the convention center, and there was also some huge cheerleading thing going on, and so there were cheerleaders everywhere. So I would definitely choose Caribbean Beach over Coronado in the future. I just overall liked the resort as a whole more, but having the Skyliner there just absolutely seals the deal. We did do the Genie Plus add-ons for all of our tickets and also bought individual lightning lanes, and I found that Genie Plus worked exactly like Max Pass did at Disneyland. Max Pass was also a paid add-on when it was at Disneyland, so the cost didn't feel too bad. What did feel bad was the cost of the individual lightning lanes, but because we hadn't been there in 10 years and we wanted to do everything new and all the classics that we still loved, that's why it was worth it for us for the price. And we'll say that if you have the Disney expertise like I do in terms of knowing what rides you should book first, what you should rope drop, we really did not wait in line for like anything. So like I said, while the added cost of it really stinks, I'm actually really happy they had this system in place instead of having the old Fast Pass Plus, which I thankfully never had to do, and like booking your Fast Passes 60 days in advance. This felt like it allowed us a lot more flexibility and able to like maximize everything in our day. Now, the one thing that was not so magical about the trip is we were there with a group of 8 and 3 of my family members tested positive for COVID once they got home. Thankfully, it was only just like cold or like very minor allergy symptoms. And also thankfully, my PCR tests this week have all come back negative, but obviously I kind of want to wait a full 10 days since when I've been home to be totally sure. But I say that right now because I really want to emphasize that Walt Disney World right now is an absolute total complete COVID super spreader because they have gotten really rid of all of their health and safety measures aside from hand sanitizers at the end of rides. Since really nobody wears a mask on property, you'll see maybe like 1 or 2 other families in the queues wearing masks. And then also because airlines have totally gone away with masks, that just evidenced by the fact that like 3 out of 8 like right away tested positive after getting home really shows how bad it is. Thankfully, everybody in the party was fully vaccinated and boosted. But if you are going to Walt Disney World, I really would recommend wearing a good mask every time you are indoors. In the beginning of the trip, we wore masks indoors when we were in more congested areas, more high density areas like queues or pre-shows. And then the last few days of the trip, when we did learn that some family members tested positive, we wore masks inside every time we were inside. So that again was definitely a big negative downside, but thankfully everybody just had super mild symptoms that did not last too long. But I think it's really important to emphasize right now that since all health and safety measures and masks have gone out the window, that COVID is beyond rampant at Disney World. This now feels like a weird segue to go on and show everything that I bought on the trip, but that's kind of what we're just gonna jump right into. So what I have most of everything in, this is one of the 50th anniversary reusable bags, which I think the design of this is so pretty on it, and I love the kind of metallic, a little bit holographic oil sticky accents on it. So we'll take out 2 of the first things in here, and these are 2 of the 50th anniversary resort refillable mugs. So they have refillable mugs available for guests at the resorts. They're designed to kind of like have unlimited soda. I just got them for water, and then also because I really liked the designs of them and also the fact that they're really practical souvenirs, since although these will not activate your own soda fountains at home, they're still really good for just being able to drink water throughout the day. So I first got this 50th anniversary one. This is one of, I think, the newer design collection. They have a kind of main blue version and a gold version on this, and I love the artwork on it. It has a lot of the kind of classic like, you know, that 50th castle that's on that. I will say the colors are a little bit washed out overall, but I really like this 50th design. And then this is one of the 50th designs I think they came out with last fall. This is the yellow accent, and there are so many fun park and resort icons all over this. I should say mainly it's the resorts that are kind of like highlighted on there, which is really cool, with a little bit of the parks. This is definitely a lot more vibrant in its colors and super cute. Then in a similar vein to that, I got one of the 50th anniversary Skyliner popcorn buckets. But this bucket was released while I was on my trip, so it was cool to have something fresh and brand new come out. The front is like the Skyliner entrance, including even with the little step there. It has Chip and Dale on the side with the 50 logo. On the other large side, it has the Most Magical Celebration Walt Disney World. And then on the back here, it has Mickey and Minnie on it. And then the top opens up for the popcorn, which I definitely have to clean this out because there is popcorn residue in there. So I definitely wanted to get this because I really wanted a Skyliner related souvenir, because I loved being able to ride the Skyliner so much. And also I think the kind of shape and size of this is really nice and practical for storage. Like, I think this would be a really good place to hold pin backs in here, or maybe even pin backer cards. So this again will be something that also will kind of be practical. And then, of course, me being me, I did get quite a lot of pins. I had some Disney gift cards and Disney Visa Rewards dollars available, so I thought we'll kind of just go ham on the pins. I will say I was a bit disappointed in the selection they had available of like the parks and resorts themed pins. They really had a pretty slim amount of attraction pins available. And then also they had like hardly any pins for resorts. So one of the things that I always do is I get a pin for every resort that I stay at, and there was not a single Caribbean beach pin in existence anywhere. I even looked on eBay, and on eBay I like couldn't find just a regular like open edition like Caribbean beach style resort pin. They were all ones like themed to specific things, so I actually ended up buying one on Mercari. But thankfully they did have a nice new Coronado pin. Since I have so many pins in here, what I'm gonna do is turn the camera around and film these all from an individual POV. Okay, so now we are going through the mini pins that I got. I'm going to start with ones that are themed and exclusive to the 50th anniversary. So this one here is a limited edition, kind of like a mini jumbo pin of the castle here. I have not yet taken it out of the box, so let's check out its LE size. This is a really quite nice hefty pin, tons of glitter on it. It is an LE of 3000. And when you open this up, in the inside you have Cinderella and then an engraving of the world's most magical celebration. I then got this nice open edition pin of Minnie and Mickey for the 50th, dressed in their lovely 50th wear. We have this lunchbox pin, and this was a must get because look inside, we have all these awesome treats like churros there. And then I got this Walt Disney World Florida dangle pin. I also collect year pins from years that I visited the park, so I had to get this 2022 pin. This is a nice little spinner. This was also some of the only 2022 merch I saw at all. Normally that is a huge thing to have year-dated merch, especially Disney World, where people want to commemorate their vacations, but they really had no year-dated merch out, which I can understand, either because of the fact that they got left with hordes and hordes of 2020 merch, or just because of supply chain issues, but at least thankfully they had the pin. Then I got a few other special limited release pins. So for some reason, Walt Disney World had the Disneyland Main Street Electrical Parade 50th anniversary pins. This one is the trifold pin. This features some of kind of classic scenes, and then also that's kind of like the stylized Mickey that they're using on this. I wanted to get this because I saw the Main Street Electrical Parade when it came back to Disneyland in 2017, and all the annual pass holders immediately bought out the pin that was for that. So this is going to be my MSEP commemorative pin. And then while we were not in Hollywood Studios on May the 4th, they still did have a whole bunch of the pins there when we went back. So of course I had to get our baby Grogu Star Wars Day May the 4th Be With You 2022 pin. I also really like the rock work in the background. I have two things that are not related to the parks in terms of pins that I got. I had wanted to get this Zootopia 2-pin set because I had saw it released earlier, and I figured I could wait until I can actually get it in the parks myself. So this is really cute. We have Judy and Flash at the DMV. And then they also have this Wildcats East High School Musical pin. I'm gonna go for and say this is just High School Musical and not High School Musical, the musical, the series, since we are OG here. Then we get into all the pins specific to the parks, resorts, and attractions. So I got this Coronado Springs Resort pin for my stay there. This is a little bit more in kind of like the nice Grandestino style of like very subtle hidden Mickeys in the filigree. Although I'll say I still don't understand the theming of Coronado Springs because, as they say on the announcements on the bus, it's like themed to ancient Mexico, really kind of like Mesoamerica, but then also the American Southwest. But then the Grandestino Tower is like themed to Spain in the Dali era. So overall, a bit confused by that. Then I got the Germany Epcot World Showcase pin because my family is German and we all had a dinner together at the Beer Garden restaurant, which was pretty fun. So you can see it's like they're on stage performing. So this was kind of like a fun little family themed pin. Then I got new updated versions of some open edition attraction pins. So this one is for Soarin'. It has Travel the World with the inferior Soarin' Around the World theme. And then I also got an updated test track presented by Chevrolet because this was my first time riding the newly refurbished test track, which is like a totally different experience, and the whole design your own car process was super awesome. I also got a Jungle Cruise pin. This is the world famous Jungle Cruise departing daily only in Adventureland, having fun in the jungle. Which, like, Jungle Cruise has now, after the refurb, become like one of the most popular attractions in Magic Kingdom. For Animal Kingdom, I got this Kilimanjaro Safaris pin, Harambe Wildlife Reserve. This is really cool. It has like a sculpted metal background with a translucent enamel fill and screen printing on it. Love that. Then I got one of the newer Expedition Everest pins. We have a Abominable's Everest Summit Tours. Are we there yet? Always love Everest. We rode it twice in a row. I did get a Kite Tails pin just because I feel like this might not be around for too long in terms of like merchandise. We did get to see the Jungle Book balloons go, which was an interesting sight. Although for some reason, this simple pin, no like extra added details on it, was $13. This should be $10. And then for Hollywood Studios, I got some of the newer Tower of Terror open editions that I do not yet have. This is Next Stop, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This has a spinner that I can't really access on the backer card, but I'm going to say that Tower of Terror is probably still my favorite attraction on Disney property. Then we have this really cute Chippendale as bellhops pin with a little ding in the background that moves around. We've got this Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway with Disney Mickey Mouse in Perfect Picnic. You can see the car kind of moves up and down. I loved this ride so much. This was definitely one of my new favorites. Then I just have a Toy Story Land logo pin since this was my first time getting to experience Toy Story Land. And then I also got the DJ Rex Cantina pin since again this was my first time getting to experience the Cantina in Galaxy's Edge. And I wanted to finish with some of the prettiest pins of all. These are some new Pandora pins available in Pandora the World of Avatar at Animal Kingdom. So this is an Explore Pandora pin. Then we have this beautiful Pandora the World of Avatar, kind of like a poster pin. Really nice heavy duty metal here, super pretty image. And the thing about this is this one was only $10. So why is this beautiful heavy metal pin cheaper than the Kite Tails pin? And then just my absolute favorite, this stunning 2-pin set here. We have kind of a little bit of a night and day. Here we have the day and then Pandora at night. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Pandora at night, but it was still stunning during the day. And just the graphics and colors on this are the prettiest. And then we'll include this here. This is the Caribbean Beach pin I had to buy on Mercari for like $24 because that's like literally the only like generic logo one I could find online because they just like did not have the resort pins available to purchase in person. Now that the pins are done, I have a few other things that I purchased, one of them being this Disney Cats photo frame. I had really been hoping that these were still in stock, and they were very hard to find because they'll be put in like weird sections or sections that you don't expect, but I found it. It's this kind of like puffy plastic material, and of course I love this because they also have Yzma as a cat on this. So I'll of course have to put a cute photo of my two kitties in there. Then I also got this Walt Disney World 50th anniversary magnet. This magnet is overall pretty similar to a pin design that they have, which I didn't buy on this trip because I already got it when the 50th started back in October. The artwork of this matches what's on my t-shirt. This is like my favorite type and aesthetic of 50th merch. I don't really collect magnets as much, but I thought this would be a nice souvenir to stick on the fridge. Then I got these Minnie and Mickey 50th anniversary like little figurines. The only place I saw these or like really noticed them was at Animal Kingdom. They were only $10 each, and they just really spoke to me. They're Minnie and Mickey in their 50th anniversary garb. They're like a plastic, like the type of plastic coin banks are made of. So I thought these would be perfect and cute to kind of like put in the back corner display here. And I thought they were like decently inexpensive for their size. I was overall a bit underwhelmed by the apparel that they had available. They had a lot of stuff that was really just like Shop Disney or kind of like meme stuff. They didn't have a lot of stuff that was like related to the parks. But one thing that my mom and I saw in Italy and that she was so nice to get for me was this Mickey lemon tank top. I love a good subtle Mickey shirt, and there is nothing better than this. You have little Mickey heads as the lemons, and then within the lemons themselves, there's also these little subtle Mickey heads. Some countries in Epcot World Showcase definitely had better respective merch than others, and Italy was definitely one of the winners. Then the big ticket item that I got was this Walt Disney World Castle Spirit jersey. So this looks kind of like a standard Spirit jersey from the front. It does have flecks of gold glitter all over, but when you turn it to the back, you can see the beautiful 50th anniversary castle there all over the whole back, and then the Walt Disney World text in gold there. The only place that I saw this Spirit jersey was in World of Disney, and they literally only had 3 of them in stock. So I was super happy to come across this. Since I have a Spirit jersey from Disneyland's 65th anniversary, it feels nice to have one from Walt Disney World's 50th. And the big castle in the back is so pretty. Then I have one last bag of things that I bought, and these are from WonderGround Gallery at Disney Springs. I got 2 of the little postcard prints. The first one being this print with Yzma and Kronk, which obviously is amazing. I have some space on my Emperor's New Groove pinboard, so I might pop this up there. And then there's this postcard of Mickey and Minnie riding Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which I just thought was really cool and unique. Getting these postcards are a really good way from WonderGround Gallery to have kind of small and expensive art to display. At $6, they're a bit expensive to use as a postcard itself, but I have some other ones that are this size framed on the wall, and they look super good. And then I did get this one full-size piece of artwork. This is kind of like Magic Kingdom Cuties. It's by Jared Maruyama. So you can see this is done in Jared Maruyama's very classic cutie style, and I love that there's all these icons of the Magic Kingdom. Especially we've got Sunny Eclipse there, and it looks like Carousel of Progress. So with this, I am gonna have to find some room on my walls for this to go, because I do not have a lot of retail space available, but I thought this was just a really cute, sweet design. And so that was all the stuff that I bought, but not all the stuff that I got, because I do kind of collect and save freebie stuff. Something that I guess fits along that line are some pins that I traded for. I did not trade for too many, but I did find a few cool, authentic pins on the pin boards. So this was actually a really cool find. This is a Dumbo fanny pack pin from the new mystery set. We've got a little Dapper Goofy here. This is Evil Queen from another newer mystery set. Then we have a Bug's Life Hidden Disney pin, and then a Slinky Dog pin with a cute little actual like Slinky center. I also got an I'm Celebrating button, because the big reason why we were there was in celebration of me finally completing and finishing my PhD last summer. It was so hot and humid there that the Sharpie on this had kind of started to really come off. so I might have to do a little bit of a touch-up job on this. Then, of course, I had to get park maps of all the 4 parks. These are the ones that I've saved and selected in the most pristine edition, and then these go in my collection of park maps from all of my personal trips to the parks. But I always love to collect park maps in general. They're such a cool snapshot of like the new attractions in the parks, things that are coming soon. Obviously, they're featuring the 50th anniversary here. And then related, I also have the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival Passport. This is the booklet that says all the different food items that they have available. I also saved and brought back a coaster from Oga's Cantina since we did get a reservation to go into Oga's. That's the main standard design on the front, and this is what it says on the back. I'd have to look up what the Arabic of this is, but it was a super cool vibe in there, and I loved the music. In the category of strange things, I also saved and brought home our receipt from the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater at Hollywood Studios, because I love they stamp your receipt and bill with a parking violation, which kind of plays into the whole shtick there. So that just seemed fun and sweet. And then the very last kind of like weirdest thing that I brought back was this like paper towel napkin from the bathrooms on the very top floor of Coronado Springs. Like it has the Coronado Springs logo on it. This is one of those like super like high quality like lush paper towels. I have saved like napkins and other stuff from other places in Disney before, so this is not something new for me, but it just seemed like something super special and like an extra fancy touch to have in the bathrooms. So there we go. That was everything that I got on my trip to Disney World. It definitely has taken me like a full week to recover from walking like 8+ miles a day in 90-degree heat with humidity, but I also have that feeling of like, you know, wanting to go back right away. And because there's still like a lot of more new stuff coming, like the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster is opening at Epcot super soon, and people are already getting to ride it, and it looks like such an awesome ride. And then Tron will be coming sometime eventually, so hopefully it won't be another 10 years before I get back to Walt Disney World, but it was so special and awesome to have this trip there. But thanks for watching.